Welcome to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. Join us in our campaign and shenanigans as we explore the subterranean labyrinths, plunder hordes of treasure, battle legendary monsters. This podcast will be following our gaming group and the adventures of these characters, as well as a few guests from time to time. Join us as we start a new campaign and our journey to experience the best, and maybe the worst, in the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Welcome back to Goblins of Conquest.
So, are you all leveled up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Did you get something? Did you get anything?
Uncanny dodge. And,
Do you get extra attack, or is that not a rogue thing? I know maybe it's the more fightery type might be.
Eventually, I think the rogue does.
Yeah, just not this time.
Okay.
You could do a wheel.
It's to mainly help the ranger out of. You can double tap now.
Right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. At this point, if I was still if I went Beastmaster still, this would be the point in which my pet would be at least slightly useful because it can count as one of my weapon attacks.
Right.
Nice.
It's the Beastmaster. Your pet is one of your weapon attack options. You get if you choose to do the attack actions, like you either use your weapon or the pet.
Kind of like.
Didn't they bump that better with you?
There's the UA version didn't make
Yeah.
the UA version didn't make Xanathar.
Okay.
So yeah, there is
again.
what?
I think they're trying again.
But I haven't seen it make it to an official version yet. Yeah, that one was significantly.
My cat is a slob. He's got like food everywhere.
So, where last we left off, as we all got quiet, it's a good time to jump in there like that.
Ooh, do you...
What, Ashley? What?
Now you have to finish the sentence, or we'll always be waiting on bated breath.
Wow.
I was gonna ask you guys if I could have a Coke.
Yeah.
Yes, you may. You guys have been here more than once, so it's almost like that.
I still ask my grandparents if I can get a glass of water.
And I'm so ready for more water, too.
I'm ready to not interrupt it anymore. So
You sure?
I'm ready. Yes.
It's kind of like an evil cricket.
Oh wait, never mind.
So where last we left off, you guys retreated back because there's the screaming specter that was so terrifying. Our rogue lost light for her things.
Where did the other one go?
So you guys retreated back.
Yep.
You found a safe spot to take a long rest and conveniently feel the magical aura of leveling up happen around you.
Oh, sorry.
Ting! Golden light surrounds you all in your sleeping bags.
That was
You've
almost magical.
been fondling your magically now attuned items.
Mine was attuned to birth.
Oh my god.
I think it was attuned to puberty, but okay.
That's probably worse.
It had its first attuning at puberty.
Multiple times.
I'm now a bugbear man.
It's delicate though with the claws.
Oh, shut up.
Alright. It's a discussion for another time.
That's why bugbears are good at sneaking up on
Next
these
guest.
the elf is at the lake, and you hear this furry fat noise. And all of a sudden, the one elf rolls a natural 20, and she just goes, "The bugbear behind me isn't there?" Fat from the bushes.
This is why I hit my inhaler already.
This is a good plan, because you know us. So you guys, hear the every, it's almost like 15 minutes on the second. From down the way. And you're like, you know what? Now I'm glad there was that water thing that we had to swim through that was keeping that noise from echoing through this whole fucking place. Because that would be off-putting to have to listen to every 15 seconds.
No, it's just sounds of home. Yeah.
Sounds like the dungeon.
And that's when you realize your cleric is super creepy.
You just realized?
So you guys,
Hi,
you
cleric.
Yeah, this group's not creepy in the least.
Hi. Cleric of death, okay?
she slept beautiful.
I did.
The rest of you shoved wads of whatever earplugs you could find, and she slept beautiful. So you guys, you get garbage back up, you get your armor back on. Obviously, nobody snored loudly because she didn't come down the hallway after you guys.
It's years of training. Just kind of brushes, shines his claws on us. It's practice.
Biggest surprise is no one farted in their sleep.
Right. No one farted in their sleep. That had to be the hobgoblin.
By the way, for the record, the bugbear does not snore. That was farts. That was another point of entry. So what do you guys do once you get all geared up, ready to go?
Take a nap.
Take a nap?
Oh, this isn't real life.
Coffee?
That's what I like about my druid. He's of the dream, so he literally, all his skills are about sleeping and resting.
Love it.
He could make an area, like when you take a rest, it's like +5 perception and stealth, no light can be seen from outside of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I want to take a nice siesta in peace.
Where are we, though?
Can a creepy creep
How does this?
around?
I think the.
Oh, yes.
This looks like where we're at.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it all where you're at. Actually, where you're at is right over here, just off the map. Are you guys coming back to that sneaky little corner where your ranger peeked around the corner and saw that there's the creepy specter?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's pretty much the only way to get through here, right?
I mean, if you want to
Feels like
proceed
the
in the forward momentum, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I like forward.
As she's just sitting there screaming at the wall.
That should really.
There's
be
a
Angsty teen.
There's a slight impression of a hobgoblin's body that got beaten to the wall. So what are y'all doing? Any preparation? Stretching. It's all about the calisthenics.
Gotta get ready for the fight.
Let's see if I know.
Do I want to...
Little skeleton pet's already gone, right?
Yep.
He died.
There's rooms full of bones if you want to try to bring your little zombie back. One fleshy body comes crawling out.
So that's something I was curious about. Cause
Yeah?
when I wrote that down. What did I write that?
You wrote it somewhere. I know you wrote it somewhere.
Oh, I know I did, but
As a cleric, you say, so it has been written.
So the dragon whistle.
Uh-huh.
You said two different things.
I
you
did.
said once every 7 days and then once every 24 hours.
And
I wrote-
it's the
and
every
I wrote-
24 hours.
I wrote both down, so I was
Okay.
like, that was
It's
confusing.
every 24 hours.
Okay.
But your undead can last for 7 days.
That's what that
That's
is.
what that is.
Okay.
If you happen to keep your little zombie George alive that long.
Oh,
Alive.
ZG.
I want to say on the
And he's just going.
Last night we just we obtained and shortly thereafter lost a flesh golem that we found. Figuring out puzzles of things.
So you guys clearly know it's there. I mean, you have a horrible unfair advantage on it right now. Mm-hmm. So what are y'all going to
I'm
do?
good with having advantages.
I mean, you could always have your cleric try out her cool destroy undead power.
Ooh.
It might work, it might not work.
I'm totally okay with trying it. What's the worst that happens?
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work, and every undead within a mile senses it and comes running towards you all.
Negative Ghost Rider.
So what does it look like in there? I mean, basically he's mapped it out for us.
Yeah.
It's basically in the middle of the hall, kind of.
Yeah.
It was at the
Little,
priest,
little
basically.
choke point of death.
It's wherever we want it.
No, where's the ghost? Closer
Right
to
there.
me or closer to you?
Closer to the other end of the hallway.
Oh wait, yes.
And we're coming from...
You're coming
From-
from the
from
bugle
here.
nacho bags.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're
So all you all know, and the birthday boy is with all the bags of chips.
There's
Wait, put your finger back.
Do we think that's the only one?
You hate me. I didn't do anything to you this time.
This time.
It's on credit.
I mean, it's the only one I saw down that way, and the only one we're hearing.
Right.
Where was that?
Well, we could pull it around the corner. You could pull it around the corner. I like that look again.
I'm gonna be stealthy and look at it.
Okay, go ahead, roll me a stealth.
I roll stealth.
Maybe one of you two divine.
10.
Is that a 1?
It is natural 1.
You just pulled it.
Oh my god.
So,
I'm the least stealthy rogue ever.
The horrible part was I was just thinking, pretty much the only reason she rolls is to see if she gets a 1.
I was thinking it, you were thinking it, I think all of us were thinking it so hard we made it happen. So the rogue goes scampering ahead of you guys, and she's just like,
Everybody, I'm gonna sneak up on it.
And here I was worried about this whistle.
the
making
problem
noise.
is, apparently
Oh crap.
she left the earplugs
Double
in,
thought
so she's been talking at earplug volume.
I'm being sneaky.
So as Gigglestart walks up to the corner, she kind of like puts her hand on the cornerstone and finds the one loose brick. As all of a sudden she peeks over, and you all are watching as you see the brick she's holding onto sliding. And she starts to look back at you guys.
The rock
as, like,
and me.
on this side of the wall, you didn't notice, but there's a ton of damage done by somebody probably doing something like fireball in a short hallway. And all of a sudden, a huge collection of bricks and mortar comes crumbling down, chopping a section of the corner away. So it's even bigger.
So when you do something, you do it well.
I really just... I
Giggle
commit
snort
to
doesn't
it.
go half snort. She goes full giggle. So there's this like opening now, rough terrain. This is rough terrain. This is rough terrain. As all these bricks come crashing around you, thankfully avoiding you if you can make a DC Dex check.
I'll try. Yes.
Okay, so Giggle starts jumping around as bricks start crashing around her, easily avoiding the catastrophe. As you see the horrible wraithy face, who's just like at the wall, just and then all of a sudden it's like 1,000-yard stare into you, and you get the feeling it sees you.
Do I?
You do. As it's going, ah!
I'm gonna back up.
Are you?
I hope so.
Okay.
Can I, as soon as I see that drop, can I cast False Life on myself?
Sure. I'll give you each give you guys an action as you're seeing her sort of reconnoitering happen. So what does our cleric do?
Well, I was gonna wait to blow the whistle, but I think I'll be blowing the whistle now.
So, about 20 feet behind you,
Glad I
a
could get things
pile
started.
of bones. The one fleshy bone is zombifying itself together, crawling out of the pile.
Yeah,
One elf ear twitching.
Okay. Yeah, get up, you lazy little
I'll have to
shit.
call this one Effie.
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 Okay, Effie the zombie.
Here looks like
Zombie.
So what does our paladin do?
the
Here, I'll let you choose. I think I know which
Smite.
one you're going to want.
Okay, so you
strangest
cast
thing
Divine
that we
Smite
worked
on your
on.
sword.
Yep.
You immediately do the
gold, but-
He-Man thing and
That
charge up
works.
your sword. Okay, what's our ranger do?
I mean, I'll simply have my bow at the ready. Everything I need, anything I would want to put on it, I need to actually see them. So,
Okay.
like yes, I can pass without trace. Can't pass without trace, but that's kind of pointless at this point.
You already have the mark on it, right?
That was from last night. It only lasts an hour, so no. And yeah, again, like I need to see them to put to mark them or put my
Maybe
planar
close
warrior
on the
focus
map.
on them.
Okay, so needless to say, things are happening.
Fingers cleared.
And we should all roll initiative. Oh, giggle, snort. Infinite joy. You give us infinite joy.
Natural 20.
Damn!
Yep. Help yourself.
So, giggle, snort, what you got?
13.
And our paladin.
14.
And a wizard.
25.
Jesus Christ.
A crit.
Man,
And our ranger.
23.
Jesus Christ, you guys are hurt to kill shit. And our canary.
9.
Jesus Christ, I was expecting one of you to do worse than me. You know, Yvonne, I count on you for these things.
I think it's a cleric curse.
It's a clerical error. Is what it
There
is.
you go.
Actually, it's the best thing ever to have your cleric go last, in my opinion. As a player who plays clerics, I like to go last. So, that brings us to our bugbear, who's got his false life bolstering his muscles and frame.
Yep.
What are you going to do as you see poor Giggle Snorts?
Being super awkward and falling over herself.
As your cleric busts out a bag of chips saying, I gotta watch this as I'm at the bottom of the order.
Wait, thank you.
He begins gripping his staff as he's looking at you.
Whoa, whoa,
gritting
whoa.
his teeth.
We're just
Whoa,
gonna back
whoa,
it down.
whoa! You're
Yeah.
watching the goblin gripping your staff. I used to do that in EQ all the time.
And as
Oh,
I'm
man.
speaking,
/gore.
I begin speaking very quickly, and my words begin to like whispers surrounding me, and I begin moving faster through haste.
Ah!
Fancy.
He's like, time to bust out the new spells.
Yeah. So it is concentration up to a minute. How far away is that thing?
Pretty far and around the corner.
Yeah.
And pretty far down the corner. You could totally look around the corner if you want.
50.
50 feet. I'm gonna move up behind her.
Don't forget the square you're in, and that's where difficult terrain
I think I counted that.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, so he's wanting to move up to
So,
Giggle
behind
Snort
her.
or past, so behind Giggle Snort?
Yeah, because I have
Okay.
range.
Well, you have a wall though, unfortunately.
Well, part of a wall.
Yeah.
If it comes around
Most
the
of a
corner.
wall.
Oh, okay, you're just getting ready.
More than 12% of a wall.
And yeah, I'll have to do that next round. Okay.
I was gonna say, are you ready in action or?
Well, I was gonna say I'm going to booming blade my staff, but I need to do that with the attack action. So
Okay.
It's
And that's
just-
exactly
That's the
what the
rate.
ghost spells sounds like.
Mhm.
So it's our paladin's turn with your divine smite on your sword, glowing powerfully.
I will move up to beside the bugbear.
Do you need a character? Do you need a
You can give him this many because he recognizes it from yesterday.
This many.
This one.
Not that many.
She wants
This
you to be
many.
the Allosaurus dinosaur. She wants more dinosaurs on the map.
I mean,
Okay.
come on. Of course they do.
Oh,
Oh?
I don't think I want to engage just yet. Sorry, go ahead.
That's not involved.
You need at least a year's worth of dating.
And I will hold action for Wraithy, whatever it is, to attack. If
To
they come
swing
within
your
range.
sword?
Yep.
Okay. What are you doing there?
I was trying to see what this is.
Oh, it's your turn.
Oh, I guess I could go then.
You do.
There you go. I was hoping to be able to go before you, but no, you totally get to go first.
That's
So your
crazy.
compatriots have walked up behind you. They've got your back from behind you.
I'll step out and shoot.
Okay, go for it.
17.
Okay, you step out, you shoot, and now you're shooting with your regular arrow, right?
I don't have any non-regular arrows.
Okay. So go ahead and roll for damage.
Was it sneak attack as well?
No, totally. No, she didn't come
No.
from hiding.
Or?
It obviously knew she was there.
Yeah.
She pretty much said, "Hi, how's it going?
5.
I'm your neighbor."
5 points of damage. As you notice, I don't even lift up my pin.
Minimum possible damage.
Nothing.
No, it was 0.
Yeah, I know.
As your arrow goes flying through it with no effect whatsoever.
It would have hit its center
It
mass,
needed to
though.
pierce it.
It was a beautiful shot.
It was a great
Beautiful
shot.
shot. As she's whispering that to you guys when you can't see anything. It was a beautiful shot. And you're good with where you're standing?
No,
Where do you
I'm
wanna-
going to back up again.
Where are you going to back up to?
The same spot.
Okay, so you back around the little
Yeah.
corner there?
Unless I shouldn't, in which case I don't.
That's fine. And what's our cleric doing?
I think you forgot me.
I think I did.
Because cleric's last, remember?
No, didn't you notch an arrow and ready to shoot?
Well, well, that was in the that was
Oh,
the before
right.
initiative.
That is the before the initiative.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to forget it? It's his birthday.
It's his birthday. It's so bad now. Someone
I mean, if anything, it's sort of like, okay, maybe I won't be as bold as if everyone's going to willingly be a human, a bugbear and hobgoblin shield.
So what were you doing?
Like, I was going to run up, so I get 25 to here. I'll hunter's mark her.
Okay.
That's my bonus for her.
Finally, someone wants me.
Yeah, and seeing as everyone's so willingly going to provide kind of a little cover there, I mark, and for my action, I'm going to dash back.
Okay. So you run out there, you look, scary ghost thing, you're like, she looks exactly like you saw her before.
Yeah.
Oh, she's looking right at you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, yep, there she is.
And now you can sense her with your hunter's mark.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a gift I was giving to you guys.
Yeah.
Add some spice to this encounter.
Spicing it up.
So what's our cleric going to do now that she just counted out some squares? She's plotting some things.
Oh, some fat asses are in the way, so I can't really get by them.
You can walk by friends.
You
They're
can go
friendlies.
through the space.
I just like calling little fat ass.
Your cleric just walks up and just shoves the two of you out of the way so she can walk between.
I'm used to it.
These boots are made for necro. Man, see that they are.
Aren't you grave, not death?
I am death.
Isn't that in the D&D?
She went for the evil one.
Oh, okay.
You are playing evil races, so I totally saw it was legit.
Yep.
That was at session 0 he never came to.
Correct.
Yeah, I know.
So, I think I'm going to waste this. I'm sure.
It's not a waste. It's like how the cat made mocking noise.
No, that was the.
Air
Oh,
filter.
air
Oh.
freshener. I thought it was a cat passing
Helps
gas or
to keep
something.
us sniff good in here.
So you got a bunch of smelly gamers.
So I'm like peeking around,
Okay.
and I'm going to.
Now remember, that is difficult terrain there. You sure you want to peek around the wall and not just be on against the far wall that's not difficult terrain? Okay. Just gonna throw that out there.
Oh, I gotta see what the distance is on this. I don't know. I'm sorry. New ability.
Are you talking? Oh, new ability.
New ability. I don't
Now
know.
it's not what I was guessing you would use.
Does not give me a distance.
What spell is it?
It's destroy undead.
Oh, that's your.
It's
You
part,
use
it's part
turn
of
dead.
it's part of turn.
So it upgrades turn dead.
Oh, okay. So
That's what, 30 feet? 60 feet?
30 feet.
30 feet?
Too far away.
Yeah, just buggery shy.
All right. So I'm not that close. So da-da-da-da.
Wow, you're 5 feet away.
And somebody said, "Hey, take a step back."
You don't have to.
All right. But I can do.
25, 30. Yeah, it'd still be just, even with the best movement there, you're just shy. I appropriately spaced that.
All right. So
No, it's
since
turn
I'm not
down.
going to.
You could always hold your action and turn dead as soon as it approaches.
True.
Within 20 feet.
Since it's a bonus action, I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon.
Okay, spiritual weapon. And where are you putting your spiritual weapon? And we'll use the dinosaurs so someone feels happy that the dinosaurs.
Wait, isn't there fancy?
Yeah, oh yeah, because I have
Ah!
actual
You have
wisdom
the amazing looking weapon.
what is your spiritual weapon? Choose your weapon.
It is an axe.
So you summon a spiritual weapon right behind the ring.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
I get to hit.
Okay, go for it.
So let's see.
That's a magical weapon.
On a hit, the target takes. Okay, so let's see here. I've slept since I played last.
Why would you do that?
I know, right? Oh, you.
So what'd you get?
Oh, I got a 5.
So immediately your axe comes into being and it swings before it finishes phasing into reality. So it wafts through the wafty through ring.
So
There's so much wafting.
It didn't hit just yet, and
It's
And
it's
they
still
were-
preparing itself.
it was still astral, so it didn't really.
It
Get
was
its
mostly
attention
not
either.
real, and he was mostly not. She was mostly not real.
So can I
She
get my
It's like
zombie to
she's
move up?
concentrating really
Sure,
hard.
you can move your zombie up.
Okay.
I'm afraid to ask her if there's any good progress.
As the zombie starts shuffling behind you, people. Zombie shuffle.
Yes, I did look up my zombies so to see how far they can move. So.
Well, that's a good thing.
Uh-huh. All right, I'm done.
So, immediately, it kind of like lifts its hands at you with flowy whiffs of a dress.
Oh, your breath, man.
You smell it 35 feet away.
Uh-huh.
As two ghostly streaks come from its hands. Maybe this is the thing that your grave touch is based on. Come flying out towards you. As these grave bolts.
I'll do that.
I
It's
would
right
help
between your
you,
feet.
But you'd probably try and
Right
chop
there.
my hands off again.
Probably.
Just fingertips.
Ooh, and apparently she is so upset that she's only getting a 10 thank you, and a 13. Will that hit you?
13.
Okay, as the 13 flies out and touches you, but the other one hits the wall behind you, and you just like ectoplasm hits the wall. And a little bit of splatter.
Okay.
As I look at this giant pile of dice and try to see what the D8 is in
You can use my D.
Don't help.
Just kidding.
See?
it. For a mighty 4 points of necrotic damage.
Are we?
As you feel the touch of the grave there.
Listen, bitch.
And yeah, she's good with where she's standing.
Mm.
So top of the order, that'd be our wizard's turn. You're sitting there waiting for all this action that never happened.
Yeah.
You saw a couple ghost bolts hit the wall, and you're like, wow, it's kind of dangerous to stick your head around that corner.
Let's see. 5, 10, 15.
Don't forget those 2 spots are difficult. The ones adjacent to Giggle Snort are difficult terrain.
You're correct, but with haste, your speed's doubled.
Ha 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 ha!
So I move 30 feet through
Just
difficult terrain, right?
Yep.
And I have a 5-foot reach.
Yep.
As
So you come like vampire running past your team.
it's flanked,
It is flanked. You would have advantage.
and I'm gonna cast Booming Blade
On
my weapon.
And what does your booming blade do?
The Booming Blade, if it moves after I hit it, it'll take the magical damage. So right now, it's standard damage. I
Okay.
need to get a magical weapon. It's 15 to hit,
15 will hit.
so
You just managed to clip it in the chin as it tried to pull away from you. You just like
for 8 points of damage.
and and that's magical damage.
This is standard damage,
Standard damage.
so you're not even going to write it down.
Actually, I'm writing something down.
Yeah.
I'm writing down a very small number.
And I'm going to step back.
Okay, since you are 1 square shy of it, would you move him back?
And I'm going to cast Lightning Lure. It's still flanked.
I don't think Lightning Lure would get flanking bonus, though.
Well, I am
It's a
directly
ranged
opposite.
attack, though. So
Okay.
like a ranger with a range attack, they don't get the advantage. Now if you're
I got
a
you.
rogue. Rogue with Lightning Lure would be badass.
I think it's a save. if I
You should
remember
do
right.
that.
Lightning Lure.
Again.
You multi-class wizard. You steal a spellbook and start reading it.
Oh, strength
Again.
saving throw.
And
You drop
again,
it.
another D20 drop in floor. And what's your DC?
DC is 14.
And a 7 will not beat that.
Excellent. So it's,
On top of it, I
It's
made you
over
to
by
drop
Yvonne.
the black D20.
this is magical damage.
There it is. What were you supposed to?
What kind of magical damage?
Lightning.
Thunder?
Well, lightning damage in this case, and it pulls it within 5 feet of me.
Okay.
And then it's also going to take damage from the booming blade because it moved, whether it was of its own volition or not. Wouldn't you agree?
I would say so.
If it was 4th edition, I would say no, but since it's 5th edition, I would say yes.
And so that's a total of 15 points of damage.
Okay. As he pulls it away from your magic weapon, 10 feet, right in his face.
Yep. And I'm going to stand my ground.
Okay.
Just going to lean over and grin at it.
So what's our ranger gonna do?
I'm going to run back up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I could get myself to the corner here. I will now, she already has the hunter's mark. Now she will get my focus of my planar warrior upon
I
her.
sensed that was coming.
Yes.
Do I need to step to the right?
No.
Totally get shot in the back. He's gonna roll a natural 1 right in your
No,
back.
it's like that scene in RoboCop.
He's going to fire it between my legs.
As it hits dead center, and you go, "That's not between my legs."
Looking
Lower.
Not going to make a joke about attunement.
Sometimes it's a hands-on experience.
I'm going to fire 2 of my +1 arrows.
Okay.
because I've got 17 of those and 5 regulars.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you have that cool ranger double shot thing?
Yeah. So one of them is a 13.
Okay, that goes flying out and shatters against the little magical aura that she has going.
Okay, well the other one's a 9.
And the other one shatters against the magical aura, nearly missing his thigh, but both times.
I got a 2, not a 1.
It was close.
That was a thigh.
As you're feeling some leg hair missing. And for a bugbear, you would notice. So what's our paladin doing? You notice everyone's just charged around you? You had a nice choke point death spot there, and everyone just ran past you to go kill stuff.
So I can move. I think with where they moved to, I can move right next to it.
Probably. Just avoid those 2 difficult terrain places and you should have no problem. It's almost like this 10-foot wide hallway is made perfect for avoiding that.
Is that 5 feet? I can step directly behind it.
Yeah, if you saw 5 feet,
Yeah.
you could flank it.
Yep, I will do so.
Okay, so you step behind the ghost with your glowing magic blade of undead ghost ooey gooey badness.
Yep. And I'm gonna hit it.
Do you need dice?
That would be helpful. But
I still keep forgetting to put your 2 of dice back in my bag.
25.
Oh, apparently you give Snort dice. 25 will hit. Close enough.
Not in your favor tonight.
Did you give him the bad dice?
Maybe.
I mean, it does do an extra 1 because of undead, I believe.
18.
18 points. Wow, usually Smite burns through them like nobody's business. How bad were those rolls?
There were 3 ones.
There was 3 ones involved in it.
She lives another round!
I'm going to take my second attack.
Okay. With your podunk sword?
Yep.
Oh, wait, it's a magic sword.
Yeah. And that's a natural 20. Nine, 18, 20.
How many points damage?
20.
Jesus. Well, shouldn't you have rolled your dice twice? It's the sword's dice. Each dice roll twice. It's no longer double. It's sword twice plus your strength.
Nice.
So 18.
Damn it. I shaved up points. And needless to say, I needed to shave off 2 more points to keep moaning. Your backswing with your magical glowing sword that hits this thing completely. She explodes in this horrible half second of ectoplasm that hits both of you, but then evaporates a half second afterwards. As you just hear,
That's how my last bitch left me. So I couldn't resist. Oh, that was very bad. I'm sorry.
and all of you are realizing, wait, that's it? We could have just come around the hallway and got a decent night's sleep. So you guys continue on?
Well, on the positive, I wouldn't have, if I hadn't
Yeah,
gotten the
you're
full
all
night's sleep, I
listening
wouldn't have had the
ahead.
second attack.
So you guys continue on about around this corner, Jim. We're going to peek
Yeah,
around.
guys,
You
I'll go
should-
check.
Now I decide I'm going to run up there.
I will
cast.
Both the goblins are pushing each other aside to see who gets to the corner to sneak first.
Yeah, I'm going to try to sneak.
I was
with
going to say, give me an initiative roll and see which one of
See
you
which
makes
one of
it.
Which one of
As
us
you
is
guys see
sneaky?
the goblins, because this is totally a scene I could see the goblins diving
Oh, okay,
over
you
each
probably
other.
won. I got a 19 total, and I see a
Okay,
19 on the
19 on
die.
my die.
Yeah.
So Giggle Snort beats our dear wolf.
I tripped you.
Because that's totally a thing she would have done from behind.
Yeah, no.
So give me your stealth roll as you look back at him and go.
90.
Okay, so you peek around. And you see this corridor goes about another 30 feet, then makes a turn.
Okay.
And you see the bits of debris that are all over the place, just like dried bones, skin, dust, dirt.
I motion them forward and then I continue.
Okay. So, who's going to be last in line coming?
Oh no.
Probably me. First time that haste wore off, for a minute there, I'm just standing. I kind of lean against the wall
Okay.
because it
So
has that
as
effect on you.
your compatriots are doing their thing.
That's not even flat. You can't count that.
Why can't I count that?
You're not flat.
Feel better?
You're much better.
Okay. So as your compatriots are heading out, and you take that moment to get your reserve back, and you're like, wow, that's a major fucking kick. And you're coming around, and you see that they're starting to get ahead of you, and you're like, oh, I better move. Give me a perception check with disadvantage.
9.
9. Okay. So you kind of you get the sensation that something was right where you were standing, right where she was screaming at the wall. Something like motion catches your eye, but then you're just like, I'm not seeing anything. Don't worry about it.
Spawning point.
Don't worry about it. Don't be concerned about it. Don't start being paranoid and thinking it was screaming at the wall for a reason.
Hey! So you'd allow me an intelligence roll to think about that?
No, you didn't notice anything.
Okay.
It's just you
All
just thought it was a figment of your imagination in the dark.
Okay.
Probably just got spooked because you've been hearing in your head. You're still hearing the echo replay of every 15 minutes that scream going off.
I got you. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You just give it that half-second thought, and you're like, nothing there. So you guys head on your way. Go ahead and move the meetings that way. Giggle Sword is in the lead. Go ahead and give me a
How to be awesome roll?
awesome stealth roll.
Oh, okay. 18.
18. You are magical.
I'm sorry, 16.
16?
Yeah.
Still magical.
Okay.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
is the hallway we...
That's the hallway you're coming from.
Okay.
Good
I
job.
still have
making-
to leave this.
So you guys are approaching, and Giggle Snort's in the lead. She's being really sneaky. When you're sneaking up, you're telling them to hold
So
back,
sneaky.
right?
Wait up,
Super
guys.
sneaky. Are you guys holding back so she can get like 20, 30 feet ahead of you guys?
Oh yeah.
We're going to
Yes.
do this again?
Yeah.
We're going to do this again?
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, you always keep the sacrifice up front.
Ooh! So Giggle Snort
Don't be so
starts
blatant in front of
starts
me.
sneaking up, and then she magically gets projected by a trap.
If she doesn't make it back, we obviously don't continue.
And there's two large goblin craftsman doors. You can so totally tell it's goblin craftsmanship.
They're hanging up hinges.
There's some symbols that look like weird alchemy symbols.
The planks were cut like this, odd angles, hammered together.
There's almost a crawl space. And you can just.
It only goes about this tall.
Not only does the doors open like this, but they open like this for goblins to crawl underneath like a
I was
doggy
literally
door.
just started thinking like goblin doggy doors.
Goblin doggy doors.
It's
Doggy
all in
doors.
race.
So are you gonna go up there and try the door to see if it's locked?
I'm gonna...
Or are you gonna listen at the
Investigate?
door? Okay, you're gonna investigate to listen at the door.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. 6.
You totally think it's completely safe to just open this door right now and go inside because you hear nothing of consequence.
All right. Are there any traps?
Of consequence.
Not that you believe.
All right. Well, was I listening or was I just taking a trap? Because
I was giving it to you as both, but if you want to do
Okay.
separate, I'll give you a separate roll for whichever one you're now doing.
well, I think listening and checking for traps are two vastly different
that
things.
sounds like an investigative perception. I got
Okay.
you. So which one are you doing now?
Well, the one I did before was the listening.
Okay.
So perception now.
Talk about on-the-job training.
Yep, it's fine, guys. I'm gonna open the door.
Not only was there not traps,
You
but
did.
there
I
are
rolled.
now.
Yeah.
Now that you roll the natural
Yes,
one,
yes,
there
some traps.
are traps.
So you install traps.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
Oh well, and then I open the door.
So it's you
the
see,
traps on the doors fall off their hinges.
you see Giggle Snort is like working on the door, checking for traps.
I am positive it's
and
fine.
she's got her trap kit
Oh
out.
my god.
And with her natural one, she accidentally leans against the door at one point when she's like checking for pressure plates there. And the door swings wide open on the inside. So the fact that she's now falls prone inside the room. And you guys see the door open, her roll in, and the door starts to slowly squeak in this loud squeak as the door closes behind her.
We're gonna have to start keeping a record.
So, by the way, since you're now in the room, and you have dark vision, you see a bunch of statues. These all look like bugbears. Once upon a time, before somebody smashed all these statues to shit. As well as you feel a weird coldness in this room. It's unnaturally cold.
Oh,
Almost
is it?
like when you were at that other place and you were in that way, way deep place, it was naturally cold. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
And these are bodies of bugbears that look like they've been killed maybe less than a month ago.
Oh
You don't
my.
have to worry about the hitting us.
Not only do they look like they were killed a month ago, they've got, you know how bugbears are hairy. But they're even more hairy because pretty much around them, each one, basically the 5 feet adjacent to them, so it's like huge patches here. There's apparently this weird brownish mold on the ground. And the mold itself seems to be very cold. It's almost like this mold itself creates a cold effect. Wow, they all fell in some really shitty places for someone trying to walk around this room.
Look, I can get all the way on the other side. I'm leaving without you guys.
And
Just gotta stay on
that
the-
was just the first thing. Then there's the really creepy part.
Oh, the really.
Oh, that's
big
not
part.
That's just a bunch of bodies that you see in the room.
Corpses and mold is not, and cold, mold that gives off cold is not creepy.
All of a sudden, I'm gonna shake these dice so we get some action here.
I don't like this idea.
You don't like it?
No.
Floating about 5 feet off the ground.
He left.
He's afraid of me.
Wow.
Oh my.
You look up because you're prone, and the door, you hear the door go click, closed. You look up and you see these horrific ball-shaped things that look almost like a hand. And they're just kind of floating there, looking around in circles.
Do they look like they've noticed me?
And they have an eyeball in the center. The eyeball doesn't seem to be moving, but they're just like bobbing.
It's the mini hands of Vecna.
And pretty much as you look at them, and you can practically hear yourself thinking, are they looking at me? They all kind of turn.
Stop looking at me.
Slowly look right
This is
at
very
you.
awkward. He's looking at me, Ray.
He comes running out of the room. They're looking at me!
So since you all saw the door fall in, go ahead and everybody roll initiative. Because you sense that there's probably a problem. The kid will start winning the room and close the door behind her.
Better if she's stealing something.
Actually, she's stealing everything.
I'm just gonna cast Leomund's Tiny Hut.
And that's a good place to wrap it up there. Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.
Hello, this is Eric.
And Wendy Strog with Stone Valley Hobby and Games.
We sell board games, card games, role-playing games, and supplies. We have thousands of Magic the Gathering cards available, carry Kickstarter products, and work with veteran-owned small businesses to bring you our own line of products.
We are a small business retailer, but we offer competitive prices, a loyalty system, and free shipping on orders over $100.
As a military veteran myself, I'm a strong supporter of our armed forces, their families, and contractors out there doing the hard job. So any order from an AA, AE, or EP address will be shipped absolutely free.
Remember, StoneValleyGames.com, where we take your leisure seriously.